Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon. Hi,
Hello.
Sheila. How are you?
Hi, Terry. How are you?
Good, thanks. Good. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here today. So, this is Sheila with Inquisitive Tarot for anybody that doesn't know. And Sheila is a psychic and intuitive,
No,
practices
that's a medium.
medium and a medium.
Yeah, I
We
know.
were just talking about the labels. The
Yeah,
labels were funny.
yeah. The psychic thing kind of gives me the.
Oh, that's the part you don't
That's
like.
the one.
Oh,
It's the medium is fine. It's the psychic just sounds so. I don't
It's
know.
a weird term. So
Yeah,
intuitive kind of has a different,
yeah. A
energy
medium
for
is
me.
a psychic, so I just don't feel like I need to say psychic. I'm just saying medium. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That sounds good. I get that. Yeah, everything's evolving, isn't it?
hmm
Psychic is kind of an older word.
yeah.
Um, Good morning, Annie Bear. Good afternoon, Oil Painter Diana. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Teresa Ford, everybody out there. Hey, Deanne.
Hi, Deanne.
So good to see everybody. Lightworker, Viviani. Good to see everybody. And anybody I missed or anybody out there just listening. Hello, hello, hello. Um, you know, yes, and I did go see Reverend Saul yesterday, George, and he's getting better. He is working hard on it, and he's still on oxygen. And I brought him a brand new dehumidifier for his house. So he was looking for one, and as life would have it, I had one in my basement that had never been used, so he gets it. So, anyway, hi, Susan, Aliani, A A Ailani, Ailani. Ooh, that's
Elon, yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Is it Ailani? Yeah, yeah, good to see you. And, Susan's here, Sharon Donnelly, Sheila Inquisitive Tarot
Yeah.
is obviously here because she's right next to me.
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. Anyway, so I thought we'd talk, and Linnea, hi Linnea. We have all these beautiful names coming in today. I love these names. Lots of and Viviani, lots of beautiful vowels. I love the vowels.
Yes.
So, what started you on this path, Sheila? How did this come about for you?
I think I've had it all my life. So
Yeah.
my earliest memory, I think, was when I was 5 and we were moving and we stayed at a very old house in between. Well, our new house was being built. It was like a month. And I was out in the backyard and they had a garden and I was looking down the pathway to the shed and I thought I saw a white woman, like she was all white, come out of it. And then when she got to the end of the path where I was at the other end, she just disappeared. And I was like, well, I'm like, did I see that? I don't know. I didn't know what it was. And I told my older sister, and she said, this house is haunted. I said, no, it isn't. I think it was. So I don't know what she saw, but I think, yeah, so stuff like that. And then, yeah, so um, I've lived with ghosts. I've seen them. I've seen full bodied apparitions. I've made eye contact with 2 of them. Um, yeah,
Wow.
they see you and they let you know. So I've experienced a lot of that. I do have claircognizance, voyance, clairaudience because I can hear. It's outside my head. I am never really thought that I had like spirit guides, but I think it's now starting to work better for me as I do YouTube. And now when I do medium readings, I actually am starting to get, because they can't obviously be talking outside of my head now because we'd have EVPs because it's recording. So I think even though when I first started, I caught a few EVPs,
Wow.
there was some screaming, there was some yelling in my ears, like here and then here. And then the second one I caught as I think it left the room. Um, yeah, I just have a lot happen. I can't even, this would go on forever. I have to stop myself
Wow.
because
That's
there's too
amazing.
much to tell.
Did you feel comfortable with it? Like, it sounds like you felt pretty comfortable when you saw the woman coming out of the shed.
No, I,
No?
No, because
Oh,
we were raised Catholic, and pretty much
yeah.
we were told there weren't any such things as ghosts, which I found out to not be true. And I was pretty much terrified when my abilities started really opening up in my 20s. And I was terrified. I thought that the ghosts in my apartment were trying to possess me, but they weren't. They were trying to get my attention for sure, and they did get it. Because the first year and a half, I was just like, this isn't happening. And I would laugh it off. And the telephone cord was moving, and this white blur would go back and forth all the time in front of the TV. It was just, I remember one time I had a friend over, and he and I were talking. We're like towards the back, and the TV was on, and it was going. And I was just like, hoping my friend, I was just like, just look at me, just look at me. Like I was doing everything I could so he would not see that. And because I didn't know what the reaction would be, because I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was stuck on a lease. And then when I finally realized what it was, I got really freaked out. And then, so that kind of opened up, and I started seeing things after I moved out of there. Like I would see shadow figures, and they looked like, that construction paper cutout is like a 2D.
Yeah.
They were like 2D, but very dark, and you could see them. I remember being at the gas station once, and the street was lit up, but it was dark because at that time where I lived, it was a little bit more rural. But I could see one of those things running across the street, and it was like I saw it and it got stuck. And I'm like I look away, and it's still there. And I was like, why is it like suspended? And I was like, I kept seeing things. And so, yes. So it's, I don't know. It's been a crazy wild ride. And then the clairaudience opened up in 1999, and that was terrifying. And so, because everything was so loud, and yeah, it's been a wild ride, and yeah,
Oh,
not what I planned for my life at all. So, but
wow.
it's here, and I can't fight it anymore. So,
So that brought you here to YouTube?
well, yeah. Well, I mean, I had bought my first tarot deck in 1994, and it was I forget what it's called. It was a weird one, and it kind of freaked me out. And I remember trying to figure out how to read with it, and it had a little black cloth with it, which I wish I still had. But and I kept trying to read with it, and it just kind of freaked me out. So I threw it away. I'd bought it for myself. Nobody's ever bought me a tarot deck ever, so I bought all mine. But then in 2010, I decided I wanted to look at it again. So I bought this very deck right here.
Yeah.
And it was with the Tarot for Dummies. And I figured I wanted to figure this out. And I got them, and these were much easier for me. And I kind of felt like, well, these images aren't so bad. And so, I didn't learn much from that. And then I bought myself this trusty little guy, and proved to be very helpful. So when I would read for myself, I used it for like a couple of years. And then I got on the whole noticing that there were different kinds of tarot decks again. So I started buying those. And once I learned how to read this a little bit better, then I felt more comfortable. But I still had to use some of the books. Like I remember when The Wild Unknown, I got that one. It was so different that I would read the little book. And then I got to the point where I was kind of like, well, why am I doing that when I know this? And it's the same cards, basically. I just need to remember which one's which, like, for the pages and the nights and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, so enough with the books. And I don't know. So, I mean, I don't know. But then I started to get more confident with it. So the pandemic happened. And I'd already had this table set up in here because I was trying to find a place to read for myself, because I had a little footstool that I was using, and the footstool had got something spilled on it, and I had to get it out of here because it was
Right.
I have a card table in the basement that's not being used. I would use it for crafts. I used to make those little latch hook rugs and stuff like that in the living room. So I brought it upstairs and set it up, and the table just kind of morphed. And then the pandemic happened, and I was watching, YouTube and stuff. And, I think I started watching, I saw some of the political readers, and then I also found the Hermit's Cave, and which I kind of blame him for why I have so many tarot decks, but he's so awesome with his his reviews. So that was part of it. So credit there. But
Mhm.
and I really do. So that kind of morphed, and then I wanted to get in and find people who might have some of the same experiences that I've had spiritually. And I really haven't found anyone quite like me yet, but I think we're all different anyway. So there's people have stronger of the clairs and others and things like that. But um, so it's just sort of taken off. And when I finally got brave enough to do some medium readings, I think I'm getting better. Now that I've said that, I'm going to be really nervous if we do any today. So, but
No.
like the last time I did one by myself, I think it was a show I did, and two people wanted readings. It was funny because the second person came through first, and the first person who I was reading for was like, "No, that's not my person." So then their person came right in, and I can describe them. And then I went to the next person, and she's like, "The person you described is mine." And I was like, "Oh my God." So that was great. And because I can now get images, I can kind of see what they look like. I look for something evidentially that way. I do read differently than others. I'm not able to like, you know, go as rapidly. I kind of have to focus a little bit on it to make sure that I'm picking up the information that they're giving me. So
Yeah.
I'm still growing. I'm changing. So it's interesting. So yes, different is beautiful. Yes, I think so. I love it that we're all different, and I try not to don't want to compare myself to anyone else because again, we are different, and there's not a right or wrong either. I believe.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to
Yeah,
say that this person is better than this person and that kind of stuff. That doesn't work, and it's not helpful.
yeah. And Bear asks if you appreciate your gifts more as time goes by, Sheila.
Yes, I just wish that in my personal life, when I know something's going to happen, that I would pay attention better and just not end up in the situation because it seems to happen. I have to
Yeah.
start like when I know probably shouldn't go here. There's a reason. So because then something bad happens. So
Oh,
I have to get better at that.
yeah. Teresa Ford, I think your Claire is being a Yoda.
Yeah.
Teresa Ford always has the best comments, just intuitively
Yeah.
knowing the claircognizance.
Well,
Yeah,
Teresa, I think you do, but maybe you're not
I'm
tuned
sorry.
into it. You're not paying attention. Oh, do
Yeah,
I appreciate my gifts? Yes, I am appreciating it more because I'm starting
yeah,
to understand it more and I'm less afraid of it, except for those things where when I know something bad's going to happen to me personally, I need to pay attention and not end up in the situation.
right.
Because it happens and I know it. I know something's going down and I don't know why I can't. Ugh. Yes. Yes. Still
Right, Gerald.
growing.
Yeah, still growing. Yeah. Sign of a wise and skilled reader, wise and skilled person, right? Soul.
Yes.
Definitely.
You never
Um,
stop growing ever.
yeah, and always being curious. That's the other thing. I love that you do hook rugs and all sorts of
Yeah.
things and have fun and
Not anymore. It's the
oh,
table's covered with cards.
mine is too. My desk is covered and I have to make room for different cards and then put the boxes somewhere I can find them and stones and
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
but it's my favorite mess, I have to say.
I
I love
agree.
it.
I got
Yeah.
stones all
Yeah.
over the place, spheres, and even have that crystal ball that I don't use just because I had to have it. I'm like,
I
if I'm
have
going
one
to do this,
too.
you got to have this crystal ball.
Yeah, and I have my shell. Every once in a while, I'll read with my shell, but right now I have my little angel cards that thank you,
Oh,
Gerald. You got me hooked on those. I love them. The
lovely.
little tiny ones. Um, and so it's really interesting that you see things and hear things in such what seems to be a physical form or
Mhm.
a density, a heavy density, perhaps.
Well, I actually saw it was like 2008. My grandfather died in 1999, right when all this stuff was happening to me. And I was going through another upheaval in 2008, and I was staying with my mother. And I looked out the window, and I swear I saw my grandfather trudging up the road. I mean, he looked like us, like physical, with
Yeah.
the hat on, the mismatched pants, and everything. And I was like, "What is going on?" And I ran out the front door, and he disappeared. And I told Mom, I said, "I think I just saw Granddaddy." She said, "No, you didn't. That's just an old guy up there." I was like, "No, that was Granddaddy." He was moving very quickly for an old. He died at 91. And
Wow.
it was like, oh my God. So, and I felt like he appeared because I was going through such a rough time, and it was my mom's house anyway. So I felt like he knew where to find me. So in a way it was comforting, even though I still was like, no, I didn't just see that, but I still think it was Granddaddy.
That's so interesting that it's such a that you see it so clearly. That's
Mhm.
such a great gift. I love that. I feel them and I see them with my mind's eye,
Mhm.
but seeing them with your physical eye, and that's a whole different um, um, sensing.
Well, yeah, I also get orbs in my house in here. I did check this house when I moved in to make sure no one died at it, because I was like, I need to make sure. So
Hello.
I
Keep
was like,
staying there.
to be sure. And I had weird things happening in here. Stuff was moving in this house. I have some very heavy silverware, Oneida silverware, that was in the sink. And it was like, I was really bad at the time about getting the dishes out of the dishwasher. So I was like sitting in the sink, and there was a bowl, and there was a whole bunch of my silverware, and it was just kind of sitting to the side. And I was upstairs, and I'm hearing clanking downstairs. And I was like, what's going on? And I came down the stairs, and it's still clanking. I walk into the kitchen, and I can see the silverware. Like, it was like somebody had their hand on it. It was going like this. And it stopped when I looked, and I was like, what just happened? I'm like, oh no. And I know somebody's been through here, and there was a time I tell this story a lot. It was probably about 2016, 17. I came in through the garage door in the basement, because stuff kept falling all the time in the basement. I couldn't figure out what was going on in the laundry room. This little dry cleaning thing that you're supposed to spray kept falling, and I couldn't figure out. I'd hear thumps all the time. I'm like, what is happening off this little shelf? And so I came in the garage door that one day, and at the same time, on two different ends of the basement, the laundry thing fell off, and then something fell off over, around the corner and in there at the same time. Two things. And I was like, what is, I'm just like, that's kind of my reaction. I was like, oh no. I was like, knock it off.
Knock it
Took me a
off.
while. I picked up the one in the laundry room, but I couldn't figure out what fell. But it was something for the laundry as well, for my ironing board that fell off. And I was like, from the desk that was behind it. And I'm just kind of like, all right, someone's in here. And that was when I had whispers. He was on the outside of my head. There was a lot of chit-chatty kind of stuff. And she's been coming back recently too. So I'm not chasing her away as I used to. I used to be like,
Yeah.
get here, bugging me. You want to tell me your name? So,
Yeah.
and her answer was, why do you need a name? So,
Oh, interesting. A little contrary there, huh?
yeah, I don't read on aliens. I don't know the alien stuff as much. I believe there probably is reincarnation. I'm told I've been through it. I was even told I was hung as a witch. I somehow believe that. So, but
Okay.
I'm not a witch.
Picking up on that. Yeah, a little bit. I
Although
think a lot of us were.
yeah. Well, one of my great grandfathers in my family tree is John Proctor, who was hung, but he was telling them it was all nonsense, but they hung him anyway. So in Salem. So yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. That
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense then, that you would have such a physical density with them. I get more of a subtle sense on the mediumship and intuition, but when I was growing up, I could see them more clearly. When my husband passed away, he left little pieces of black fabric all around the house and the outside. So I always knew when he was around, and
That's
every
cool.
once in a while I'll still find one. But yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah. For me, it's It has to be somebody that you're close to, like my dad and my stepmom. They would talk my ear off when they passed for a few years, but I needed it.
They were just, they're letting you know they were still there, and they still are. So
Yeah.
you're not
Well,
alone.
thank
So I
you.
I did recently have a situation where from like 2012 until like last year, I kept in bed feeling like there was somebody in the house, a guy that wanted to hit me on the back of the head, and I couldn't figure out who it was. I'm like, this is really not welcome. And I could see him, he was like balding. And it turned out an old friend of mine had passed away in 2008, and it was definitely Joe, because he was looked like that, although he was shorter than how he was showing to me. But we had a falling out in 2000, and I hadn't talked to him. I didn't know he died, and once I determined that, and I know where he was buried. I went out and found it, but all of that has gone away. So I was kind of surprised at that, but I'm glad he came to tell me. So all is forgiven too. So
I think I just saw him floating up from the pictures at the bottom of our studio here. So at the corner of my eye, that was funny while you were talking about him. When you meet people, do you see spirit around them, or does spirit come in for to give messages, or do you have to tune into that?
I generally don't read people. I'm like, I kind of feel like it's not really understood or appreciated by people. If you just start doing that, I don't do that. I'm not like the Long Island medium. I don't think that's
Yeah.
right. Just walking up to people and being like, oh,
Right.
so I'd have to be asked.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I think that's better.
It's
But
hard, isn't it? I was out with some friends the other night, and one of them, her husband had just written a book. He's an author, and it was about his family. And his grandma kept hitting me over the head, saying,
yeah,
"Tell him I'm here. Tell him I'm here." You know, she wanted to get some say something about his book, and I still haven't emailed her because I feel like what to do.
yeah, and that's true. And that situation does happen. And I have had a situation where there was someone I knew where they used to work, and she doesn't work there anymore. But last time I went there, well, one of the times it was I think 2021. I said 22, and I guess she kind of knew that I was a medium, and I mean, because I connect to the living as well, so I have all kinds of trouble because of the problems around. Believe me, it's not fun. So when you connect to the living and they don't like it, and it's just. But anyway, but she said to someone that I was, and she had a hard time connecting to her mother who passed away, and I knew her mother, and you know, but it was just really funny because right after that, and she was over doing something just a few feet from me. It was like all of a sudden I look up and I see her mom's face, like in my face, really big. And she was like, "Tell her I'm here." And I was like, oh. And I was like, I looked at her. Her name was also Sheilah. And I was like, "Sheilah, your mom is here. And she's letting me know I'm supposed to tell you right now." And I was like, I was freaked out because it was like this big head. Like, it was like I could see it in my mind's eye, but she was like really big. So she was really wanted me to tell her. So I did. And I told her later on, I said, I think because you were open to that, that happened. Because
Yeah.
I don't do that usually when I'm out and about or I'm seeing people, because I don't think it's, don't like to volunteer stuff. People
Right.
want to know, then, yeah, but she had wanted that. But I never told her about it, but when she did that, I would try to be helpful, and she'd say that she was looking for her mom and she's not there, and I kept trying to tell her that no, she's there. But then I'm like, I need to stop saying this because then it's going to seem like so. Well, that could have been the trigger too. There was another thing, but for her to say that, but I don't know. I always tried to tread very carefully.
Yeah, it's a balance act, isn't it? And some people aren't. I don't even know if this friend would appreciate it or not. You really don't know what to do. Sharon Donnelly says, "Terry, ask Grandma what to do." You are wow. Okay, Yoda, you're exactly right.
Yes.
That's what I should do. Um,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
Jeff, good question. Do you
Yeah.
ever want to hold things back in readings when that happens?
Yeah, I actually do because I only do readings on YouTube and they're public. So
Yeah.
there's sometimes you need to be aware of that there's other eyes on this and there's going to be other eyes on it. And I don't like to give any um, too much stuff out there yet. I'm still trying to hone my skills a little bit, which is another reason why it's free. So, and plus I'm still working and I have a job and I don't want to complicate my whole life with more money coming in. I do have a little bit from YouTube, but not much. And I'm trying to be careful with that. I think once I retire, then I can change that. But I also want to hold it back because again, it's public
Yeah.
and you know, I don't want, I try to give, I give the truth, but I try to do it in a positive fashion. Because I know what the fear was like for me when I went to somebody after I had been living with the ghosts. The woman scared me. I mean, she did all the stuff. She told me I had a curse. I was
Oh,
like, and my brain just went, and that
right.
wasn't true. And I don't want to lead people down the wrong road. And that also held me back from figuring out what was going on for a long time. But I'm not going to be that kind of a reader. So
Yeah. I feel like if somebody wants a reading, then they should leave feeling better than when they came in.
yeah, or at least help you figure out a way to solve it yourself, which is really, I'm not going to be able to solve your problem. And I tell them that. And
Yeah.
I had people saying things to me when I needed help that they could fix it. And I'm like, you can't fix this. This is something that is like, now that I know, I'm like, this is part of me. And but they tried to make me afraid. And I don't like that. And I don't want anybody to ever feel that way. And I don't want to give you like bad news and stuff. If I think something like that, if I'm really sure, which, I'd ask them to email me or something. But I'm not going to do that on my shows. And
Yeah.
I've never had that feeling either. And that's another thing, because I remember I was reading for somebody on a live and I had pulled the death card and they were like, um, they said that their person had cancer or something. And I said, no, because I don't read on health. I will never read on that. I'm not going to tell you when you're going to live and die. I can't do that.
Right.
I will not do it. That belongs to God.
Yeah.
I believe in God and, or whatever you want to call him for you, but that I will not do that. And I have ethics on this that I'm absolutely going to be careful on. So,
Yeah. 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 It's a public space and we have to be careful. I think somebody said once the 4 Ds. It's disaster, death, divorce, and there was another one.
right.
I can't remember what the other one was, but devastation or whatever. But I do feel like not that you have to be falsely positive, but there has to be
Right. Oh, and I'm not either. I'll say,
yeah,
well, you might not get this job.
yeah,
What happen? Or somebody's coming and it's going to get in your way. And I do see that, but
yeah,
I'm not going to tell them that they can't do it because I always believed, I mean, for me, every time I ever wanted to get a job, if I really wanted the job, I could get it because it was like, you have to put it in, go interview, fix that resume or whatever up and go in there and sell yourself. And so I always feel like you just have to you have to get in there and show them why you're better and you can do it. So there's just certain things, I guess, as an example. So, okay.
yeah. Gerald says, for me, I want people to leave the reading feeling more informed and empowered about what is going on.
Yes,
What they do with the information is up to them. I'm just a conduit.
exactly.
Amen, Gerald. Thank you. That's a good way to put that.
Totally agree. And that's what I try to do. And so when I do my personal readings, I like to have my camera. I have my overhead cam. I like them to see it. It's like different when I do current events. I won't do it as much. I just hold up the cards like we're probably going to do today. But when I do it, I like to show my spread, let them see the cards, and you can even interpret it yourself. and that's fine. But as far as like death and sickness and stuff, I won't do that. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Sharon asks, do you ever think that spirit will withhold the info from you because they know the current can't handle it or shouldn't now?
that's interesting because I have an actual story that happened like in this house when I had it was very active in here with, I think I had guides, but I couldn't, I was kind of frustrated because there was a man and a woman type voices that I could hear. And I was curious about a friend of mine who was dating somebody. And I told the story, and his wife had passed away. His previous wife had passed away. And I was wondering how she felt about this current one. And I was just kind of asking the question in my head all the time. Like, I wonder what she would think about this current one. And I don't know. And so I'm in the living room watching TV, and over by my French doors to the deck, I hear the male say, you know, that question you have about your friend? It was a whole sentence. And I said, yes. And he goes, well, the answer is no. And I was like, what? I was like, does that mean I was like, can I tell him? And then they said no. And I was like, all right, thanks. I won't. And that was the end of that. But so, I mean, literally, if you have a sassy spirit, like I have had around there, I'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, generally, I wouldn't have told him anyway, really, because it was more my question. It wasn't his. And
Yeah.
I didn't think it was really, I guess you could say I was kind of being nosy. I was wondering about it. I was like, you know, so, but spirit lets you know. So,
You got the mail, Lisa.
you have to be careful. And you can, and really also another part of that question or an answer to that question is also when I have received messages from spirit, I only pass on what they're telling me, exactly what they tell me. I don't change it. I don't add to it, and I don't take away. So when I've received, I had a red letter day here once, and I was like in the bathroom, and I knew with the fan on, I was hearing more. I was just sitting there, and I had whispers over here. My maternal grandparents, my friend's daughter who just passed, and then the guy's mother who I liked appeared. So I had a message for my mother, from my grandmother. It took me 6 months to finally tell her. That was hard. I just had to slip it in a conversation. And she's like, what does granddaddy say? But he was more in my case. And then I told the message I got from my friend's daughter who passed away, her heart failure. I gave that to my friend. And then when I was, for some reason, my brain went right to the guy that I've liked all this time. And I was thinking about him. And I was like, you know, and then she goes, he's beautiful on the inside too. And I was like, what? I was like, where did that come from? I was like, he's never heard that because he didn't ask a question. I didn't really know she was hanging around because I didn't really ask for anything there.
Yeah.
That was clearly his mother. But I just give what they give me anyway, but at least when it's appropriate, when it's asked for. But yeah. But yes, you do. You have to be careful not to, because there's a trust on both sides. And I want them to trust me, and I want to trust them.
Yeah. It's so easy to bring ego into it, isn't it?
Yes.
And a lot of readers do. And I try to always say, okay, this is Terry, the reader, saying, don't get that second mortgage or something, or research it a little bit more before you get it.
Well, you can say that. There's nothing wrong with that message.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I say, and spirit is saying this because
well, spirit might have, I don't know. I guess you have to use your own judgment too, if they're giving you that. But then you can also check and say, should I give that information?
Yeah.
So do a check. It's like when we're reading with this, and I've started to say it out loud, but I always say something that says, tell me the truth and only the truth and not what I want to hear. So I try to get the truth from this. And I'll ask it after I get the answer, is that true? So there's that too. So you got to check these things because, and even the divining rods and things, because, you have to watch that you're not putting your own energy on it. So,
Yeah. And
even with readings and between spirit, I try to check it.
And it's hard with friends and family, isn't it? Because you want the best for them, especially close friends. Like you want them to have the very best.
Well, I know my family's going to hand it to me no matter which way I want it. So it doesn't matter. They're going to tell me. So it's like, okay. That's different. But if I knew them, that is. But
yeah. How do you stay so calm? That's a great question, Jeff.
Years of freaking out. And now I don't do it anymore. So I've already run the gamut of that. So that's all out of my system now. Now I'm rolling with it. So it's become less painful. So less fighting with it. I just need to be aware of when stuff's going to happen to me. And then I won't get in it. So
interesting.
Those are the things. I'm great with everybody else, but my own, it's like, I know this bad thing might happen and I still don't avoid it. And so that's not right. So you have to watch it yourself. Yes.
Yeah. They showed me a car accident in a dream the other night. It was just a fender bender, but it was my car and it was in a parking lot. And yesterday I was running errands and I was like, okay, I am going to watch very, very carefully. And I've got that backup beeper thing that'll go off if a car goes by. And I was just like vigilant. It's like, thank you, guides.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you ever get things in dreams, or is it just when you're conscious?
No, I do have dreams. I have some things, and it was kind of like I was going through a rough time the last couple of weeks, and it was funny. Well, it was a clairaudient moment though. But I was going to sleep, and it was so funny. And I hear a harmonica with "We Shall Overcome." It was hilarious. I'm like, "There's and I'm awake. I'm like, "Where's a harmonica with We Shall Overcome?" I was like, awesome. Great. Thank you for the message. I was like, that's awesome. So for myself, they do try to help on a little bit. So I was happy for that. And so far I'm overcoming it. So we're getting there. We're almost to the end, but of the situation.
Wow. Good.
Through it. Yeah.
And what about, this is kind of a tentative situation that people don't really want to do, and yet we live in the physical world, about income and like generating finances or tax or stocks or whatever. Do you ever like pull and think, should I buy this stock or should I invest here or buy that house?
I can't, because of my job, I can't buy stocks. So
okay. Yeah.
So no, I don't do it on that. I don't read on finance, legal, or health on my show, and I don't do finance. Financially, for me, I'm okay. I've got a salary and everything like that. So, but I don't do that. That's not. I don't think that's for the greater good. Usually, like the lottery. Although, the only time something like that did happen, I was reading with the steampunk tarot deck. The one from I think, and that's back when I was still reading the books. And I think I got the Six of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles in a reading, and it was talking about that if you get those two cards together, you should play the lottery. And I did play Keno and won $346 that night. But I don't know, coincidence. But I don't use it for that. I just don't.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Edgar Casey learned that lesson big time. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's good to set intentions if you want something or you need something, but maybe not. It's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like where you're gonna put that.
I mean, I try to help people with my readings. And if I read for myself, it's the same thing as solving a problem, sorting something out, getting to a resolution, something that should be good for all. But, intention does have everything to do with it. And, the reason for my being on YouTube, yes, I am I was trying to figure out what was going on with me for a long time. I did finally figure that out, but then I needed to put it to good use and to help people. And I've always tried to help people all my life. I've been a candy striper. I've worked in nursing homes, volunteered. I volunteered for the police as a victim assistant for 4 years. I was an EEO counselor for work for 4 years, along with my real job. But it was like, yeah, so I'm always trying to do something that betters, makes life better for others. So I feel like this is something, and due to my own experience, my bad experiences that I had when my gifts were opening up, now I can turn that around. I learned something from what happened to me, and I can make it better, hopefully, for other people. And I won't allow that kind of stuff to happen too. So it's like, I want to help others, and that means I try to leave people with a positive message at the end of everything. I'm not trying to sugarcoat things, but I'm not here to tell you, oh, there's a tower, oh, your whole world's falling apart. I don't see it. So
yeah, sell everything.
Read the cards based on the question. I try to, although sometimes the cards want to talk about something else, but for the most part, I want to give you a good message. I want to help you find a way through your problem. You're going to solve it, not me, but I can help you, and I can give you with these tools or the information I receive, and hopefully you're going to be the one that solves it.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's all about giving back, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when a lot of us go through trauma or drama.
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's fun once you start giving back. You just want to give more.
Yeah. It feels good. I want to help people. And I love when people come back and say, oh, you were right. This did happen. And thank you. And to me, that means more to me than anything, is that people let me know that I helped in some way. And, they were able to solve their issue as well, because they're really doing the work. So
yeah.
They're doing the work. I'm just pulling some cards.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, Teresa Ford says you're a shining light on the details too.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well,
and Lauren, Dr. Saul, I'm sorry. Lauren asks about an update on Reverend Saul. And he's a gentleman that we have on. He's an American shaman and healer and whatnot. Anyway, he comes on quite a bit. He is doing better. He is out of the hospital. He is home, and I brought him a dehumidifier. And he called me up and said, oh, I've got some crystals for you and your son. So anyway, he's a little angel. Deanne DFL Rocks ask, I have a question about an experience a few days ago. I woke up from a dream saying out loud, why don't they gel? 45, loud and clear. I heard a man's voice say, followers. Any idea who that man was?
Loud and clear, say followers. Probably not. I think it's probably just they're giving you, it might be your guide giving you the answer, but they'll get him when the time is right. Once he's found guilty, we have to go through the process. But yeah, with 91 counts, don't worry about it, Dan.
Right?
It's coming. So
yeah, they were. I'm going to show my age and say, "Here comes the judge." Yeah. So I don't know if anybody remembers that thing. Here comes the judge. Yeah, it's
and the jury.
Yeah, right, the jury. But I agree. I feel like they really need to be careful because of the followers, and it has to be put in not just gently, but intelligently. Like there's a certain timing for everything that will help everybody to accept. And some people never will, but
Right. Well, I have a link up in I found this YouTube video this week. I put up a link to it in my community page. There's this ex-Trump follower. God, I hate saying his name. Sorry. God, it's like, okay, apologies. It's just like, just saying it. Oh, okay. Pardon me. Oh, wait. I need a crystal. Okay. So, I know, seriously.
Where's water?
I need a crystal. Okay. So, I just got some whole new. Okay. Anyway. So, what the heck was I saying?
Oh, you got this vision about number 45 or something on the YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So he was on saying why he no longer follows him. Yeah. And it's really good. And he talks about how, it brought out the worst in him. And he now realizes why he followed it. So check it out. It'll be right under the link, the post that's for the show. But if you want to see somebody who, he can tell you why he was a follower. But they will start peeling off. Just hold on. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very gently. We haven't really been doing many questions, Sonia. No. Yeah, we've just kind of been chatting. But yeah, if you guys want questions, go ahead and put them in. I've got a few things starred. Oh, Diana. Ho, 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 ho. Howdy, all you spirited souls. Mary Magdalene has been talking up a storm to me today. That's funny. So before we went on, Sheilah, I saw this vision of you as a child and an apparition of the divine feminine or Mary Magdalene or somebody. Did you ever have anything like that? Maybe it was Diana bringing me in that stuff.
No. Although, believe me, again, I grew up Catholic, so I was very good about my Hail Marys. So
yeah,
Mother Mary. So
Mother Mary. Yeah.
So I mean, my faith is still there. I'm just not a practicing Catholic anymore. And there is a crucifix on the wall over my table. So I don't do anything without, and when I go in for this, like, I didn't know if we were doing readings or not, but I pray to God and I ask, for assistance and, say some prayers and for people to come in and assist and, positively. So, but it's always there. So, yeah,
we do that every morning in our meditations on the channel. 33 trillion angels coming in and guides and spirits. But yeah, I'm a recovering Catholic, or I still go to mass with my friends if they've got a funeral or something going on, and I enjoy it when I go back. I don't find time in my daily practice to do it, but I have rosaries. I have Buddhist rosaries and Catholic rosaries all over the house.
Yep, I have rosaries. I have rosaries all over the house, and I have one in here on the desk as well in the back. But I have to have all of that. And it was interesting because when I was going through my rough times a couple weeks ago, or I have this prayer book that's like this thick, and it's really nice because it has a little ribbon in it. And I pulled it out, did some meditations from that. And it was so comforting and helpful to me again to have that. So I did that, and then of course my other stuff. But so it still matters to me. So my connection to God is still there. And I know that I still receive help. So
yeah, my I feel the same when I go in. I feel it's really comforting. And Buddhist temples are very similar to Catholic churches in an odd way, like that they have the bells and the chanting, and just like the Hail Marys and the Our Fathers. I mean, those are super powerful mantras. Oh yes, Gerald, you have no political question. If questions are still open, sure, for sure. And
weird pendulum.
Let's see,
Mystery
Sonia. May I get a message about how to get going this week? Please and thank you.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Let's get. I'm sorry. My sound is back and you can hear me shuffling again.
It's really good.
New microphone.
Oh. Did you get one in the
I got
the
I got a Shure. I got the same one that Lisa Smith is using.
I think that's one Celtic Tarot has too. It's called a Shure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hure. It seems to be better. So, all right, let's see. Message for Sonia. Okay. All right, let's take a look. I'm hearing "get moving," Sonia. It's telling you to get moving. It's like I'm getting like the answer is obvious. It's funny. Vera's having a sense of humor. Also, I think it also depends on me sometimes. All right, let's see. What's going on with that? Okay. So with you, Sonia, I have that. It feels like there's other people kind of holding you back a little bit. But I'm hearing from Spirit, get moving. And I'm becoming more open to being able to do that as well while I'm reading because it's happening. So I think all this discussion is really helping too. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So it feels like the time is right and you've got luck on your side. Things are going to start moving in the direction that you want it to go in. You do have a lot of decisions to make. You need to select the right, what's going to be right for you as far as, I don't know whether this is about work or if it's personal, but you know what is the right choice. You already have that answer. And it feels like you've got your self-confidence back. This is usually my bet, like your self-confidence is lacking. There's noises downstairs again. Okay. But this is saying that you've regained your self-confidence. That's what I'm kind of getting. But you are feeling a little bit burdened about whatever's going on this week. It's like the thing that's holding you back. But when I clarified, I got justice. I clarified on the burden, and I got balance as well. Like things are going to start evening out. You're going to be able to deal with whatever is going on that's making you, you might be feeling a little bit frustrated about. But you do have the High Priestess, and she's very a lot about emotions and wisdom, and she's someone that you can, like, you have the abilities, you've got the tools, you're able to figure out how to get through whatever this is. But the time is right, and you're getting your self-confidence back. So I hope that helps. I don't know if it was ooh, this is very sharp.
Oh,
put it down. Okay. Stab myself with a stone.
Oh no.
Oh, spot on.
I get some dark energy that you got through it with faith and trust. You're reaching over it, or you have because it's in the past. And things are flipping. Then I pulled you some angel cards, and it's because you're learning so much, because you're studying and you're on your path. But you're already following over that rainbow. And this guardian angel card is coming up again and again with everybody in the past couple of weeks. And there's 3 portals here. And of course, we just went through the 9-9 and Lionsgate. And I think there's another big portal coming up. So watch for that when that time frame happens. And we're kind of meshing our time frames right now. The dimensions are kind of moving fast. So, and know that you're never alone. This is the friendship card. Yes. So, count on all your friends. You've got so many friends here. and also your family. So I feel like your soul family or those that are around you are a big support, but also there might have been some dark energy there. So,
Yeah.
so walking that balance, that line, because having faith and trust that you are walking the right way.
Yeah.
All right.
You got it, Sonia.
Yeah. Excellent, Sonia. Okay. Take that down. Okay, we already answered that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sharon says, I don't use computers because my electromagnetic field is very large and I disable them all the time. Always happens at medical appointments.
Oh my.
I love that. I disable things around my house constantly, Sharon. And I know I just have to wait an hour and my dishwasher will work. I just tell it, come on, give me a break here. We need to get these dishes done.
Yeah.
Okay. Gerald asks, question. I am considering doing some more things with my fabric art on social media. Any insights from spirits or guides?
Okay. Let's see.
Gerald, I'm seeing Instagram and YouTube shorts with you doing how-tos and people just loving them because of all the color that you bring in, and then of course the way you bring everything together with music as well, and technology. But yeah, I'm seeing a really bright future. It's like sparkling and bright colors and abundance with that.
Wait. Okay. Hold on a second. Which one is this? All right. Let's see. Okay, so what I have for you, Tarot Stash, Gerald, I'm not familiar with your fabric art, so I can't speak to that. But it does feel like you have so much going on in your world, which we all know we do. You do. We see you out there doing so many different things. So I think you need to kind of go with the flow a little bit on that. I do have is this a 5? Yeah, the 5 of Swords. So it feels like you're worrying about it a little bit. You're feeling like burdened, like there's so many things to do. And you're worried that if you're going to miss your moment, I feel like, but it's going to be okay because with the 6 of Swords here, you're going to be moving forward on this fabric art. And it's not, even though this is upright, it's not really a mystery to you because I think you know that people are very interested in what it is that you're doing. Sounds really good from what I can hear too. And you also have a lot of choices to do. You have to figure out which is the best path. There's many ways that you can accomplish this, and you can do more than one at the same time. So you don't just have to pick one way. You can pick more than one thing here. So also, I do get the 10 of Swords, but it's reversed. So it's not as bad as you're thinking, or you're just like, I think for you it's getting started, that you're kind of you need to get through, but you're going to be able to deal with the mind bullets, the Queen of Swords here. So you're going to be able to get through those thoughts. You're going to be able to slice through and find the clear path forward, which you have. And you're going to be all right. You're going to come out on top with the 7 of Wands. Yeah, with these, I have to take a minute and figure out which card I'm looking at. But yeah. So you're going to be all right. But just get in there and do it.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of product, you should be able to succeed. Maybe do an Etsy.
Yeah, I get it. Right? You've got a big circle, large, a large following with it. It's going to be, intertwined. It's going to be working with what you've already got.
Mhm.
And don't be a chicken.
Yeah.
Get out there and do it. Just do it, they're saying. But also I keep hearing the shorts and the little TikToks or Instagram posts are going to be like key, because it's going to be boom, 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 and you set it to music, and that's going to be a huge path onto the channel if you're doing a channel with it.
Yes.
So, hi Jane, how are you, beautiful?
Jane.
And then, do you have time to do one more question before we
Oh,
go?
sure. I have time. I'm good
Okay,
today.
cool.
I have lots of time.
Let's see. Oh, Teresa Ford says shungite stone helps with protect electrical stuff from shorting.
Yes.
Hey, Lonnie, anything positive I can look forward to for the rest of this month? Thank you.
Cards. All right.
Hey, Lonnie, do you have like a trip or something coming up? Because they're showing me this field, and it's like there's kind of some clouds there and some choices that you can make about something. So I don't know if it's about going forward with the trip or crossroads, kind of, where you're in a field of infinite possibilities. Like you've got all these choices, and things might look a little cloudy, but actually it's not cloudy. It's that you have infinite potential. That's what they're saying.
All right. So this is interesting, Ilani. So I'm starting this reading with the Seven of Pentacles. So I don't know if this has anything to do with money or just that you've been working on something and you're now seeing the results going forward. I have the Knight of Wands also in here. So it feels like you are going on an adventure, possibly, as she was talking about travel, you could be. And furtherance, we have the Chariot. So your own inner will, and you can move yourself forward for the rest of the month and whatever it is, adventure you're going to be going on, which could involve a new partnership or relationship with the Two of Cups. Could be that, could be someone you're going to work with, could be somebody, a new friend, that sort of stuff. You know more about this than I do, but I do have the Nine of Pentacles here also. So again, we're beginning the front and back with Pentacles. So I don't know if financially things are going to be opening up for you, if things are going to be looking better. So I pulled from the deck of character and I got a poet. So maybe it's something creative. I have wings. So maybe on this trip, he has wings too. You might be flying somewhere. Maybe you need to go away to let somebody fix something. And then I kind of, on the bottom of the deck was the moon. So I don't know. But to me, I think this is more for me because I have no idea what I'm looking at right now. So it's a mystery. So, and I try to add a little humor in there too. So, create a project to bring in money.
Yeah. And Alani, I get clear your energy. And look at Ganesh. He has all these hands, and he has a different tool in every hand. So you have exactly what you need to take care of this project and clear your energy with it. And it's a new beginning. That's that crossroad. You've got a new beginning, infinite potential there. And then there's this sense of belonging. So finding your authentic self, being your authentic self, but also finding where your heart belongs. So often we don't listen to our heart. We think, well, I could be doing that, or I could be doing this, and this would look like this. But thinking about what we truly want with our hearts makes a big, big difference. So I hope that worked for you, Alani. Yeah, awesome. She says, good. And Annie Bear, this is the last question. Are we blending timelines or jumping back and forth?
I don't think I can answer this question. I'm not sure what we mean here. So.
Oh, yeah. Alani says, so true. She's using her energy to clear things out with her creativity. That's beautiful. I love that, Alani. So Annie Bear, yes and yes. That's same
Yes,
thing.
I
Same
don't know.
thing with the blending the timelines. That's kind of like kind of what you do all the time, I think, Sheilah, and the way you describe it. Like you blend your timelines because you're talking to different densities. You're talking to densities that are out here and densities that are here on the planet, and they're coming together.
But the thing for me is that that's just life. I'm not even like, I don't see it that way at all.
You're already
to explain, but I don't even.
Yeah, and so many of us are already in 4D and 5D. We just go in between all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
Yeah,
like,
so
I'm a reluctant psychic medium. I didn't ask. It's like I'm not trying to be. It's very hard to explain. I just can't.
Yeah.
I laugh at myself.
Aw. Sonia, just heard the song on Going From Way Back. Together we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah.
When your back is against the wall, we'll be together, you and I. Oh, that's beautiful, Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just don't like with some of the stuff. I have read the books and all that stuff. I read Jane Roberts, all her books. I went through all that when I was first opening up. I do understand a lot of this stuff, but it's just like, for me, I've just lived all this. It's just normal.
Yeah, you're already in it. You're already in it, Sheilah. Yeah, and sometimes we don't have a label for it because it's just who we are.
I don't break it down and all that other stuff, so I guess it's hard to explain. So I just kind of just tell you this is what I have happening, and maybe you can teach me, you guys. So.
Right? Oh my God, I learned so many things every time I do a show. I'm
Oversoul, yeah.
Oversoul overload, Julie.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. The Seth books, all that stuff.
Yeah. Those are amazing. God, it's been a long time since I've read those. I haven't read a book for ages, though. I read things on the computer. I read bits of them, but I don't know about anybody else. But since the pandemic, I've had a hard time to sit through a whole book, and consequently I have like literally 30 books on my nightstand that I'll pick up one of and read part of.
Oh, I know. I'm in the middle of so many different kinds of books, but I did reread some of the Jane Roberts stuff around 2016, 2017, because I was opening up. All this stuff is happening again. So I was like, I need to get back in this book. So
yeah.
So it was helpful, but
yeah.
And that was one thing back when all this stuff was happening in 1992. And the spiritualist told me I needed to read those books and know them and understand them. And that was the one helpful thing that did happen back then. So
good.
That was due to help me for a little while, but then get a handle on it.
But, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, hey, Heather. Same with me, Terry. I have several books by Brene Brown I've been reading on and off. Yeah. And she has a free live, like you can sign up for every week. That's pretty cool. Gerald has not read those books yet.
Yep. Check them out. Start with Seth Speaks. Not sponsored, but yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. So.
Well, thank you so much for being on. This has been great. I mean, we could have just talked the whole time.
I know. It's great.
It's so interesting to see somebody that has that all those different dimensions. I'm going to say dimensions now too, and densities coming in. Yeah. Because they're all intermingling. So really interesting.
It definitely is. It's been going on for me for like forever. And so I'm just kind of like, all right, let's roll with it now. Just try not to be afraid, because fear only makes everything stronger. So that's one thing I've learned. And so I just kind of take a deep breath. Something happens, but now I'm just kind of like, I see an orb and I'm like, what is it doing in here? What is that? Is it a bug? Is it a fuzz? I need to know. So I whack it. If it's still there, then I know it's something. So it's,
Have you done that thing where you turn on your camera at night or in the morning and you're on your phone?
I see him with my eyes.
Oh, you see them with your eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That's awesome.
That's when I really believe that they're there, because if I can see them with my eyes and I see the little ectoplasm moving through here, I'm like, yeah, here we go.
There you go. There you go.
I've had big ones too, but this big.
Do you see them as light, or do you see them? Sometimes you do see the physical form, don't you?
It's like the way the ghosts appear to me. They were white.
Yeah.
They're white mist. And it's kind of like that time when I was in between getting out of the haunted apartment, and I had the 1700s ghost. I think he was 1700s following me. That guy was awful. But his hands were coming towards me like this, towards the bed.
Oh my gosh.
I took the Bible and whacked them, and it went like, it's matter. I mean, it's literally matter. So it just kind of swirled away, and I was like, yeah, I'll teach you. I was terrified, but I was like, your hands are not coming here. I was like, we are not doing this. I'm like, and the torso was coming across the bed. I could see the buttons, and I took my covers and went whoosh like this, and away it disappeared. I was fighting back. I was like, this guy's is messing with me, and I'm not having it. So yeah, I was terrified, but I was a fighter at the same time. So.
Oh, that's great. Oh my gosh. Okay. If you've got one more minute,
Sure.
Sharon Donnelly, I'm sorry, Sharon, she just mentioned that we missed her comment, and I want to make sure that we get her in. Been hearing for a few years that I'll be in another romantic relationship. I sense it's near. Is this person already in my life?
I'm kind of getting.
What's that song? One more, dun, 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 dun. One more, burn to fly. Something about one. Like just around the corner one, Sharon.
I'm not sure. Let me just pull my pink. Let's see. I'm going to pull a ton here. Let's just see. Well, my cards aren't saying that.
What are they saying?
All right. I sort of have the 3 of Swords here, and I also have the 10. So it feels like you've experienced a lot of loss in the past, but I do get the Queen of Cups over here. So, and this is in the future position. So it feels like you're good at whatever happened back here. You may be able to get through, but let me just grab from one more. I have them all. Okay. I have to check, because sometimes I just get a little read on. It just feels like there's something that you were dealing with. Okay. Well, I also have the Chaser, and this one's about being a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment. And I got not enough. So they might leave you frustrated if you do get somebody in, and it's saying to, I don't know, do reflection with the mirrors. So you have to determine if this is what you really want. I mean, is it going to disrupt everything? But I think it's like, if you're open 18 years ago, well, pain can last for a long time. But I think if you're open to it with this Queen of Cups, that's when it's going to happen. So you have to let go of whatever.
I think that song was kind of about that. Now, here, listening to it in my head again, it's one more do answer, one more panda fry or something like that.
I don't know that song.
Yeah, I can't remember that. I can't remember what it went like, but so releasing energetic movement, releasing old energies, clearing up your heart there, and something's happened quickly though. So the chariot comes in. So, and that could also mean that you're the driver here.
Right.
You're the one that's in charge. So, releasing those old energies, like, do you really want it? And Sharon Donnelly, you are amazing. You are fantabulous. So knowing that and listing out what you want. Like, I want a person that's trustworthy. I want a person that's honest. I want a person that's funny.
Yeah.
I want a person that likes to stay home, or I want a person that likes to travel. One less bell to answer. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. And then there is the promise of the future. So look and see what you really, really want. Put your intentions out there before you jump through that.
Agreed. But wait, let me just check. Does Sharon Donnelly have anyone coming? Tell me the truth. I want to hear. I'm getting a yes, though. I am getting a yes with this mystery rock. It's just saying yes. So
I'm getting yes too. Yeah.
Scratch it off. Find out what's under here. But yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. Okay. I hate to do this, but Fun Boy is here and he's been asking all week for an answer to this question.
Okay. No, it's fine. We're good.
And then I swear that will be it. Bless you, Fun Boy, for coming back. Hold.
You want to bond with a haunted doll? Get it out of your house. That's what you should do. Don't do haunted dolls. Somebody's trapped in there. They need to be let out, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something. That's like open for another discussion. But next thing I say.
Yeah, that's a thing that's not. Yeah, they don't want that in your house either, Fun Boy. But also, I do a lot of thrifting and garage sales. That's like my fun time. I love doing that. So I give myself a reward a lot of times. Okay, you get 15 minutes at the thrift store or whatever, and you can look at sparkly things. But Fun Boy, I always leave everything in my car for like a week sometimes, just to change the energy in it and dissolve anything that's out there. Dolls are kind of funny.
I had a big no on that.
Yeah, so you might want to get rid of them, honey.
I would. There's are people that take those things, but depending on that whatever they're doing, the energy. See, I couldn't have that in my house. We would be at war. So it's like, I don't. I'm like, you need to move on. I'd be trying to cross them over. And then if they won't go, then the doll has to be removed. Yeah. Bury it. You need to go.
Yeah. Colin and Azrael and Archangel Michael and bam.
Do a funeral. Yeah. Archangel Michael for the win. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can also open up a Bhagavad Gita or a Bible or a Quran and just leave it open in your house, and that kind of absorbs that energy. Right, Rossi? Didn't like dolls even as a kid.
Right.
Very few.
I wouldn't advise anyone to be.
Yeah, messing around with that stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much. And this time I am going to let you go. Sorry, Sheilah.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, get more in there.
Great time.
I had a blast. Okay. Well, let's do this again.
Definitely.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great Sunday. Lots of fun today. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.